Hey and welcome to the daily Arsenal news show. Let's begin with our daily news. National media delivered their verdict on Fabio Vieira's display for Arsenal's under-21s last night. Fabio Vieira made his first appearance in the famous red shirt of Arsenal last night, giving the fans their first glimpse of his ability. Vieira came to Arsenal from Porto with a foot injury, which has hampered his pre-season preparations and delayed the start of his Gunners career. Vieira and fellow midfielder Emile Smith-Rowe were absent from an Arsenal training session earlier this week as they continue their bid to get back to fitness. But both men started for the under-21s against Swansea last night, playing 45 minutes of the Premier League Cup tie. The Mirror rated Vieira's performance, saying that overall he showed promise. They added, Vieira regularly shot for the ball from a starting position out on the right, showing some net touches and helping link things up for Arsenal in the final third. There was even one moment where he looked ready to test the Swansea goalkeeper, only to check back and see the chance to shoot disappear. Still, there was enough there to encourage the fans and to impress Mikel Arteta. Arsenal came from behind to win the game 2-1 thanks to a free kick from another senior player who dropped into the under-21s. Cedric Soares won the game from a dead ball and also laid on the assist for Arsenal's equalizer, which earned praise from Vieira on Instagram. The next step for Vieira is to make his debut in a competitive senior match for Arsenal as the Gunners look to continue their strong start to the season. Udinese want to sign Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin. Italian Serie A outfit Udinese want to sign Hector Bellerin from Arsenal before the end of the transfer window. Journalist Di Marzio reports that Udinese are looking to replace Brandon Soppi, who is heading for fellow Italian club Atalanta. That deal could be worth around £8.4 million when add-ons are included. And that is the money they have to try and find a replacement. The report says that the Italian side know it could well be very difficult to get Bellerin through the door this summer. He spent last season with Real Betis in La Liga on loan, but he had to take a real hit to his Arsenal salary to make that move happen. It has been expected that he would make that move permanent this summer, but the fact it has so far not materialized underlines the difficulties of that. Bellerin would have to take a salary cut on a permanent basis, and the prospect of tearing up his contract has been mooted but not confirmed yet. The interest from Italy suggests the Betis' return is far from a deal done, even if Udinese are perhaps expecting to run into the same problems as they try to sign Bellerin. Mikel Arteta has called Bellerin exceptional and clearly retains a huge respect for him as a person and a player, but respect his wishes in terms of moving on. Everyone concerned may have hoped to have had the deal done by now, but Bellerin's future remains up in the air as it stands. Danny Murphy says he's a fan of Nicolas Pepe. Danny Murphy has told TalkSport that he's actually a fan of Nicolas Pepe and suggested that the forward is judged too harshly amid speculation that he could now leave Arsenal. It would be no surprise to see Pepe leave the Emirates before the transfer window closes. The forward is yet to feature in either of their opening two Premier League games. He is attracting attention. Reports this week claimed that Nice want Pepe on loan, and initial talks have already taken place with his agent. Unfortunately, it appears that there is absolutely no chance of Arsenal recouping what they paid for Pepe, and with that, he's likely going to be remembered as one of the most disappointing signings in the club's history. However, Murphy has hit back at the criticism Pepe has faced. The pundit clearly thinks that the transfer fee has really hurt the 27-year-old during his time in England. You have to look to past this just on Pepe. I quite like him, he told TalkSport. He is a talented player, but his first two seasons were alright. His second season, when he became a bit more settled, he got 16 goals in 47 games. That's a lot more than a lot of players who we say are good players in the Premier League. 16 goals in 47 games is not bad. The season after, he fell away, probably because of Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe coming through and taking his place. Pepe obviously can have no say over what fee Arsenal paid for him, so it's unfair to be too critical of him and his form since his move to the Premier League, but he has not changed enough games since joining the Gunners, and It does seem that the best chance of Arsenal receiving a significant fee if he lives on loan and impresses elsewhere. Unfortunately, it's simply a move that has not worked out for anyone, and Arsenal now need to weigh up whether they are better off having him on the periphery of the squad or sending him out on loan. Arsenal loan youngster twist ankle in First League start for Blackpool in a huge blow. Arsenal prodigy Charlie Patino has twisted his ankle on his First League start for Blackpool in what is said to be a huge blow to Michael Appleton's side ahead of the new season. Patino joined the Seasiders earlier this month in what was described as a huge coup by Appleton, with the new Blomfield Road boss set to lead his side into battle following the departure of former boss Neil Critchley. The midfielder instantly went his way into the first team with cameo appearances against Stoke and Swansea City earlier in the campaign, resulting in a starting berth against QPR at Loftus Road on Tuesday. But the star badly rolled his ankle midway through the first half, clutching his lower leg in pain before mysteriously continuing until the interval before being substituted. It remains to be seen how long the star will be out for, but boss Appleton didn't appear to be overjoyed at the news. We went ahead in the game, we looked comfortable, and then the injury to Charlie Patino was a big blow because he was having a big influence on the game. He was playing his part, Appleton said after the injury as relied by Arseblog. His ankle is quite badly swollen and it was badly swollen at half time, so it's something we have got to control and get the swelling done. Once we are in a position where the swelling is under control, we can go and get it scanned. Gabriel Jesus make big admission after Man City exit. Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus has made a starting admission following his departure from Manchester City in this transfer window, since leaving the Citizens in July to join the Gunners in a deal worth €52.2 million. The 25-year-old appears to be a reinvented player following an incredible pre-season in which he regularly found the back of the net after a promising debut in Arsenal's 2-0 opening day victory over Crystal Palace. Jesus got off the mark in London with a brace of goals and assists as Mikel Arteta's side claimed a 4-2 win over Leicester City this past weekend. In a recent interview, the Gunners' new number 9 admitted he had lost confidence in himself playing as a central striker following the 2018 FIFA World Cup, which appeared to lead to a lack of self-belief in Manchester. After the World Cup, I thought that I couldn't play as a number 9, he told ESPN Brazil. I started playing much more on the wing at City and for Brazil. For a while, I thought that, but I've changed my mentality. I believe much more in myself now. I'm smiling again, playing football. I'm very blessed as I can play across all front three, but I am a number 9. I am there to finish our chances, not only that, but to help the team as a whole. Last season, Jesus was used as a winger by Pep Guardiola on 17 occasions and has been utilized out wide for the Seleção more often than not over the past 3 years. Rio Ferdinand claims Arsenal finally have next Luis Suarez after a transfer failure. Former England defender Rio Ferdinand has compared Arsenal's Gabriel Martinelli to former Liverpool star Luis Suarez after the Brazilian's impressive start to the season. Arsenal were in the market for Uruguay international Suarez back in 2013, bidding £40 million for the former Ajax man. He stayed at Anfield, though, scoring 31 league goals as the Red finished second before moving to Barcelona. Suarez himself is now back home in Uruguay, rejoining Nacional over the summer after a stint with Atletico Madrid. However, Ferdinand has earmarked Brazilian youngster Martinelli as a potential hire. Martinelli, if he stays fit, this guy, I've told you this before what Arteta told me, he could be the next Suarez type of player, Ferdinand said on his Vibe with 5 YouTube channel via Football London. Even Brendan Rodgers, I was interested in Brendan Rodgers' comments. He said that Arsenal have gone up a level with their additions. Martinelli joined Arsenal from Etiano in 2019 and scored 10 goals in all competitions in his first season. He has been made to wait for regular first-team football under Mikel Arteta, but now looks settled in the team. The 21-year-old has scored twice in as many games this season, netting in the Premier League opener at Crystal Palace and also finding the target in a 4-2 victory over Leicester City. He will have his eye on a spot in Brazil's World Cup squad, having made his senior debut for the Seleção back in March. £50 million Premier League player Arsenal reportedly want to sign this summer is actually a Gunner fan. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Portugal winger Pedro Neto is reportedly wanted by Arsenal and has previously said he supports the club. The Gunners have been linked with a swoop for the wide man this month after missing out on Rafinha when he left Leeds. That pursuit made it clear that Mikel Arteta is open to signing another left-footer who could cut in form the right and rival Bukayo Saka. In an interview with talkSPORT, Neto was asked who he supported as a youngster and said he loved watching Arsenal under Arsene Wenger. I watched the semi-final and the final of the FA Cup, and more what I watched when I was a kid was the Premier League, he said. It's the best championship in the world. If you want to be a footballer, that is what you have to watch. When I was a kid, my favorite team in England was Arsenal with Arsene Wenger later on in his career. They didn't win trophies, but they played very good football. The £50 million rated winger is clearly attracted by the attacking tradition of the Gunners under Wenger's leadership. Wolves have 1 point from their first 2 Premier League matches, and it's not quite clear how their season will turn out. Would he leave Molino? It has recently been reported that is a possibility, but perhaps Arsenal need to get rid of Nicolas Pepe first. This week, 90 Minute reported that intermediaries have been making it known to a number of clubs that Neto could very well be available at the right price. Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United have apparently made aware that Neto could be available and that has piqued some interest. The Gunners and their rivals are all in the market for right-sided forwards, added the report. Real Madrid monitoring Belgian international but will face competition from Arsenal. Real Madrid are reportedly monitoring Leicester City midfielder Yuri Tielemans but could face competition from Arsenal. Tielemans looks set to leave Leicester City this summer with his contract expiring next year. The Belgian international has attracted interest from Arsenal during the current transfer window, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano to Out Offside via his Substack column. Now, according to transfer journalist Akram Connor, Real Madrid are now monitoring the situation of Tielemans. Tielemans may still stay at his current club, but if the Belgian continues to refuse to sign a new deal, Leicester may push him to leave in the coming weeks, or they risk losing him on a free transfer. In an ideal world for Leicester, Tielemans would sign a new contract and they can keep hold of one of their star players, but it seems unlikely at this stage. However, no club appears to have made an official approach for Tielemans as it stands, but clubs like Real Madrid could wait until near the end of the window in the hope Leicester lower their asking price. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.